Yo guys, what is up? It's Gas Mask Gamer coming at you guys with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing The Last of Us Part 2. I played through this game twice, so I think I have, I kind of took my time to figure out what I wanted to say about the game, what could have been different, what was done right, and all that. But I will not lie. I mean, I'm kind of let down about how Naughty Dog went ahead and did this game. And I'm going to be kind of giving my take on how things could have been done differently and possibly what could have made the games and the characters even better and made you feel closer to them. Because that was one of the things with me. I didn't really feel close until I took the time to get past the story and get to know them a bit more. But, before we do that, I do want to get into what made the first game so great and what could have been, and how that could have been used to build upon the aspects in this game. So when you start the first game off, you got Joel, and when he meets Ellie, you know, he's kind of like stubborn. He doesn't really want to do anything. He just wants to stay. He doesn't want to go halfway across the country with Ellie, because he's not into the human smuggling and all that, and he doesn't even know what he's smuggling. So right off the rip, you got a kind of conflict between the two characters because Ellie doesn't want to leave Marlene, who is, I guess, her guardian in the first game. So you got the conflict between the two characters, but they want to get to St. Mary's Hospital because that's where they are going to run the tests on Ellie, and then they are going to, I guess, try and find a cure. But when they do that on their way, Ellie and Joel go through some stuff, and they develop a father-daughter bond, I guess. And this is important to the plot because in the beginning of the first game, Joel's daughter actually gets killed in the beginning of the outbreak. Now, why does this correlate with Ellie? It's the fact that Joel realizes he gets another shot at being being a father again, and he realizes this, and you kind of see he kind of eases back into it, just like with Ellie. He kind of eases back into being a father figure for Ellie because Ellie, her parents weren't really around. So by the end of the game, you get a strong bond between these two characters who at the beginning of the game didn't like each other, and you spend, I think it was 15 hours playing between the two characters, and I thought that everything was done really, really well for that, I guess, character arc. And Joel's character was just amazing. I personally think his character arc is one of the best character arcs that I've ever played in a video game, in my opinion. And I've played a lot of video games, a lot of story games, and I think Joel has a great arc. And this is something that, for me, I felt like the second game, The Last of Us Part 2, was actually lacking on a bit. I didn't really feel too connected to too many characters, and maybe some characters that I was supposed to feel connected to, I didn't feel connected to. I don't know if it's because they rushed the characters or if the story, whatever, but I can get into that later. For now, I do want to start talking about the things that I liked about the game, starting with the graphics. The graphics that were captured on video here is on PlayStation 4 Pro, and it looked great. Oh my gosh. There were times where I would get lost in the amount of detail and all the lighting in the game and everything. I'm a sucker for graphics. You can ask if anyone knows me. for me. Not only is it like gameplay or gameplay mechanics, but graphics. Those are the two big things for me. And I really thought that, you know, The Last of Us did a great job with the graphics. You know, it's probably one of the better looking games on PlayStation as of now, which makes sense as we're winding down to the next gen consoles. So, you know, I would hope that it looks good. And it kind of brought the characters even more to life for me personally, because you'd be able to see their how they're feeling. If you can see how these characters are feeling, it's great. I love it. I mean, there are beautiful portions of the game that I was just, you know, it kind of takes you away. The whole beauty of the situation. Everything's run down and it's chaos. The world is in chaos, you know. But there are portions of the game that are so beautiful and so calming that you kind of just embrace it for a second before you continue down your path or continue down the unknown path of, you know, maybe I'm going to see a dead guy or terrible thing around the corner or through this next door. So, I mean, I thought that was well done on Naughty Dog's part. So now I do want to get into another aspect of the game which I really thought flowed well, and that is the combat in the game. Jesus. The combat in this game, I thought easily, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but you know what, whatever. It was well done. I think for me, there were parts of the game that when it became slow, the only thing that carried me through was being able to, you know, take out a bunch of guys like a badass. You know, like you see here, I'm about to really mess some people up. But I thought it was great. It felt so fluid. It felt really gritty too, and I mean, it doesn't shy away from that either. And while I'm on the topic of combat with the NPCs and whatnot, I thought that the NPCs, I was just talking about characters, but I thought the NPCs also had a lot of character. So when you know, actually took someone out, when you took someone out and you killed them, it wasn't really just an NPC. There was a bit of, you know, like this was actually a person, and these people had some type of relationship going on, whether they were friends or partners, whatever. Anyways, back to what I was saying before. I thought that the combat was great. You know, you could go different ways with it. Like you saw there, I just shot 3 or 2 people with an explosive arrow, or you could have just spread them out. You know, you could have spread them out, taken them out one by one, or just go in, shoot everyone one by one. But you can get really creative with the things that you're offered in this game, and I thought that was really cool. And I enjoyed experimenting with different ways I can handle situations. There would be times where sometimes I wasn't really satisfied with how I handled a situation, so I would go back and I would try handling it a different way and seeing how that would go. And that was mostly how I got the gameplay for this game. I would go through it, and then I would actually try and get you guys a better, you know, better gameplay, and to show you, to feature, you know, some of the cool stuff that would happen. And I thought it was great. It felt so fluid, and I mean, yeah, it was great. The dodge mechanic too, that made it so much smoother. If you had an incoming attack, then you would just dodge, and you would have to time the dodge right. You can't just spam it, because if you spam it, you'd get hit. So you actually have to know when to dodge, when the attacks are incoming, and all that good stuff, which I thought was great. But I mean, I can't say it enough. I thought the combat was great. So now I do want to take a quick second to emphasize one of the other parts of the game that I love, and that was the stealth gameplay. Now, when I was playing the stealth parts, it was very intense because there were portions where you were alone. There was no NPCs to help you. Sure, there are portions like that, but for the most part, you were alone. So you had to navigate through all this, this environment, and it was very tense, and you had to really think about what you were doing, and you really felt like you were being hunted. And I think that's what the developers were going for. I was most of the time I was crawling in grass and getting around people. I tried not fighting because I knew I'd be outgunned, and I did not have the resources to fight. And so, I emphasize, if you are going to play the game, take your time, explore the environment. If you don't want to, be sluggish and kind of sneak around, but that is kind of how the game is played a bit, with a few exceptions. But it's just, I thought it was great. I like how the characters, though, had different kind of takedowns. Like you can even with the upgrades too, you can upgrade Ellie to have faster takedowns, and then I believe Abby also has a faster takedown. Maybe I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I just thought it was very well done, and it may have been another one of my favorite parts about the game, because I love stealth, and if I can, it's just so satisfying because the AI are smart in this game too. If they see you, or if they think they see you, they will turn around and they will come check out where you are. As you can see here, they thought, they started to see me. I put down a trip bomb or whatever, and the person walked right into it, and it gave me kind of an easy out, and I was able to get the drop on this other person and then proceed to shoot them with my bow. And see, I love the creativity you have and the freedom you have to go about these portions of the game with. I think it builds up on the last one, which I thought was great. So now we're gonna get into the not so nice stuff. So I want to start off with the characters. I personally think that the characters, with the way they did the story, with the way everything panned out in the story, and all in the order in which all of it took place, really messed with your relationship with the characters. I feel like there was one character in particular that was thrown in for the sake of, I guess, I don't know, other than just say, I feel like they were just thrown in for a later part of the game where, he's not even around, just for, he's a sole purpose. That's the only reason he's there, is to do something and then get killed off and then have whatever. But like I said, the characters, they are, with how everything is done, I don't think it was too, I feel like I could have been connected more with the characters, or I feel like I should have cared more about some of the characters. Now, this story, like I said, follows Ellie, like we all know. And I think we all know by now about Ellie's love interest, Dina. Dina is actually pretty cool. She kind of like, I guess, I feel like she talks a lot, which is the one thing I found annoying when you had to play with her. Like when you had to have Ellie and have her as your companion. She talks a lot, but overall she's just a really chill character. When something happened to her, which multiple things did happen to her throughout the story, it yeah, I didn't feel connected, but at the same time I was like, Jesus, like shit, that sucks. You know, I uh I mean, there's not really much to say because I never really felt like connected to Dina. Um, um, Along with what's his name? There's another character, and his name is I forget. Oh, Manny. His name is Manny, and he seems like a cool dude. And if Naughty Dog took the time to develop him and kind of do it right, I feel like he could have been one of the characters that people cared about, even though people rooted for, even though maybe they shouldn't have. And there's one thing that I know for a fact that keeps people from acknowledging the characters in the game. And I'm not talking saying that they're existing. I'm talking acknowledging the fact that they do have a character and they do have a personality, and we all know what that scene is. And if you somehow don't, then I'm going to put it up on screen now. So yeah, it takes place very early on in the game, and it absolutely sucks. And with how Naughty Dog did it, it completely ruined half the characters in the game easily, because some of these characters were really well done, and obviously they put a lot of work into, and it's not even the actors' fault. I think the actors were great, but with how everything panned out, I feel like the characters could have gotten more love. But I will show you that clip that I'm talking about, this infamous clip, right now, and I will explain to you why this affects the characters.
Let's get inside!
Scared us.
I know. How you guys doing?
We're good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
You want to get those saddles off?
No, it's alright. We'll just ride out the storm and get out of here.
Got any brushes or towel or anything? You want nothing but money.
You have no idea.
Y'all get electricity in here. Where the fuck have you been?
There are solar panels on the roof.
Who are these people? How long y'all been here?
Since yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yep.
What are y'all doing out this way?
Just passing through. You two live nearby?
We do. A few hours down the hill. Y'all should come back with us, restock before we head out.
Appreciate it. I'm Mel, by the way.
Tommy, this is my brother.
Joe. Y'all act like you heard of us or something.
Because they have.
Nora? All clear?
He's out. Put him against the wall.
Tommy! Get off me! Get off me! Ah!
Puta madre.
Joel Miller.
say whatever speech you got rehearsed. Get this over with.
Tourniquet his leg. Do it.
Don't you fucking move. God! Damn it!
Clear out. You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this. You're gonna fucking die!
What's going on?
Let him go. Who is that? Let him
She
go!
snuck in.
Why aren't you posted up outside?
We didn't think anyone was gonna show up.
What the hell did you expect? We gotta get out of here before the whole town's on top of us. You're done.
You want what I want, right?
End it. Now.
Joel, get up. Joel, fucking get up. Please stop. Please don't shoot. Joel, please get up. Fucking kill you.
So let's take a second to talk about how this went wrong. So that clip, if you don't know, takes place about 2 hours into the game. The game is 22 hours long. So what happens is you play half the game. I think it's like 8 hours. But you play half the game as Abby, the girl who killed Joel. Now, here's how this works, okay? This is something that I learned, and I'm not an expert, but I learned this when I was in creative writing in, I think, my sophomore year of high school. So, if you take a brand new character, or even any character, and you have them do something, do wrong, by a character that you have developed, and you have gotten your audience to get to know well, really well, you know, and, you know, they love this character. What you are doing to that new character is basically dehumanizing them. Maybe not completely, but you are dehumanizing them in a sense. So by the time I got to Abby's portion of the game, I didn't want to play because I knew I was going to be stuck playing as Abby for about 3 hours. Now, no matter how much this game tries to, you know, no matter how much this game tries to make Abby out to be a type of person who kind of acted on her revenge and she wanted to get back after her dad dying and Joel killing her dad as a result of him being the one leading the surgery being performed on Ellie, you know, the game tries hard to redeem her qualities, but I feel like Abby, I mean, you don't at me here, okay, but I think Abby is a likable character. If you get to know her enough, you will understand what I mean, but she is a likable character, and I feel like if these events, if you have some of these events going on right here, like before Joel dies, it'll make it it might make it harder for the audience, for both sides, for you to be like, you know, I can't believe Abby would have done this. You know, maybe not say what would have happened to her father, just hint at it, and then when they find out, you know, maybe have a flashback of what happened before executing Joel. and then it's even tougher on the audience if it's even more emotional and they get emotionally invested in the character. And then after that, I don't really know, but this game just tries really, really hard to redeem characters that we don't want any part of. Now, before I end this video, I do want to talk about the ending. So if you did get this far and you somehow didn't see the spoiler warning at the beginning of the video, click away. But I want to talk about why I think Ellie did what she did, and why it kind of goes well with Ellie's arc. So when we find Abby vulnerable and whatnot, she is tied up on a wooden post with Lev, and they are on the beach, and they're obviously not in any shape to fight. And Ellie could have easily killed them there, but she wanted a fair fight, so she took it into the water, the ocean, said, "I'm not letting you leave, Abby." So they fight, and Ellie's killed all these people to get to Abby, and right as she's about to drown Abby, she sees Joel, and I guess it hits her, and she breaks. She realizes, like, this is not what Joel would have wanted. She was kept safe by Joel her whole life. Joel gave her the gift of life and being able to live like a happy life. And that's what Joel would have wanted. He wouldn't have wanted her to go out and risk her life for the revenge to kill Abby and then possibly have someone come back and kill her. I know that was the whole plot of the game, and not a lot of people like it. I mean, I think it's okay, I guess. I just wish they executed it better, I just think that, it kind of hit me the second time, like, really what happened. And I didn't really hate the ending as much as I did, because before I was, like, super annoyed that Ellie let Abby live, and I get it now. Too bad I had to play through the whole game to get it, but I get it now, and I thought the ending was not bad. Unpopular opinion. If you are thinking about getting this game, just know that the story does get a bit confusing at times. It does get a bit slow, but I personally thought that the gameplay kind of carried it a bit through. It is not up to par. Like I said, barely up to par with the last one. I don't think they're gonna come out with another one that's gonna top the last one, because it was so good. And I mean, if I were to rate this game, I'd probably give it a 5.5 or 6 out of 10. But that's kind of gonna be my review. If you guys want to talk about this stuff in the comments section below, that would be awesome. And if you guys could drop a like on the video, that'd be sweet too, because I actually put a lot of time into this video. I spent 2 to 3 weeks trying to play this game. I spent the 2 weeks playing the first time. No, not even. I spent 2 weeks getting this video out. 2 weeks playing it again, because I was helping my dad play through this, because he loves the first one. But I've been helping him out, and it took 2 weeks to get all the footage, start the editing, and whatnot. So if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. If you could share it, that'd be nice, because I do kind of like to get my opinion out there a bit. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this video, as much as a pain in the ass it was. I just felt like I had to get this video out. It's been bugging me for a while. So I guess with that being said, I'll head out and I'll see you guys